He appears as if out of nowhere. Amid the fire and smoke, the bombs and bullets, the missiles of terror, everybody terrified, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, bodies all over the place, a city under siege, searching for its lost. Everybody looking for a way out. There seems to be no escape from this nightmare. Then there he is, they see him, he appears on the steps of the temple, untouched, unmoved by all that's going on around him, a slim, youngish figure in plain homespun garb, not tall, he's kind of small, diminutive, but somehow larger than life, long black hair, beard, but immaculately groomed, very photogenic, unarmed, disarmingly cool, calm and collected, fearless, and those eyes, dark eyes, chocolate box eyes, hypnotic, looks a bit like Charlie Manson, but sexier, that Mesopotamian tan. And a slow-mo nervous system would put Mick Jagger, Lady Gaga, Springsteen and Bono into hyped-up, hyperactive perspective. No use. In a crisis, they just start rearranging the deck chairs on the sinking Titanic. Are we getting the picture? This guy has an aura could light up his own Borealis and put an end to terror. If they could just hear what he's saying, there's too much noise in the background. So the fear-filled natives of the city start to gather at his feet. Be not afraid. Hey, tell that to the Marines. Where's the fucking cavalry when you need 'em? Some are skeptical, but others know a good thing when they see it. Maybe he knows something we don't. And suddenly there's a sandstorm, a vicious gale-force wind blowing sand all over the place. Overwhelms even the rockets and bullets, even the terrorists gone underground. People now more worried about choking on sand than being blown up by a missile. If it's not one thing, it's another. Everybody scurrying for shelter, huddling, helpless behind anything that seems remotely rooted to the spot. They can barely find themselves, never mind anybody who's really lost. But that guy, he remains there on the steps of the temple, like it's a passing drizzle, not normal times. Look like you could knock him over with a feather, but these are not normal times. And he doesn't stop talking, apparently, for the next 5 days, till the storm subsides. He remains there, his homespun don't even look dusty, still immaculately groomed, cool, calm, and collected. Well, what would you think if you'd been there in that city under siege, if not by bombs and missiles, by nature itself, though it does seem that act of God did send all them blitzkriegers packing, at least for the time being, so maybe it wasn't just some freak of nature at all. It was an act of God. Big difference, psychologically speaking, if you've got God on your side. And this guy up there, maybe he's onto something. I mean, I could be overthinking this, but I can't help thinking it had something to do with what just happened over the past 5 days. That's a long time to stay well-groomed and not choked up on sand. He's not normal. He's not normal. He's not human. He's inhuman. We must go in peace, my friends. Where's he going? Where are we going? Don't ask. Don't tell. You're free to come with me or not. He doesn't say that. But it's a free country. He just walks out of the city into the desert, and a lot of them do follow him. Anybody got a better idea? So he leads them out of the city. They presume to a better place, at least somewhere not totally in ruins, maybe Saudi Arabia, Germany, the UK, maybe even the US. How about Sweden? You taking us to Sweden? I got Stockholm Syndrome in me blood. All them Bergman movies. Spain, I've always wanted to go to Spain. Hawaii, I want to get laid. And where does he take these weary, war-torn expat Palestinians living in Syria? He takes them to Israel. What the fuck? Frying pan into the fire? What the hell are we doing here? This isn't funny. Well, the Israeli border guards don't seem to think it's funny either. Seem to have no sense of humour at all. I mean, all these couple of hundred raggedy-assed Arab muffins just turning up with their barbed wire picket fencing, seeking asylum. Anybody here Jewish? If you're Jewish, put your hands up. You can come in. Otherwise, no takers. So stay on your... Hey, what the fuck are you doing? The Messiah has passed through a hole in the fence. Are you Jewish? Hey, you can't come in here. Oh, it's this guy. It's Jesus. Well, he thinks he is. You think he is? Well, I don't, but some of these people do. And you think this is some kind of promised land? Well, I don't, but I think he does. Who? Jesus? No, Jamal over there. I just came along because everybody else was coming along. They blew up me house, closed down me business anyway. Who did? Not sure. It wasn't you, was it? Hold that thought. I need to question this guy. Who? Jamal? No, Jesus. He'd got a fucking nerve. Must have been listening to too much Pete Seeger. How long's he been playing that banjo? Jesus? No, Jamal, this isn't funny. You want to see something funny? I'm going to smash that fucking souped-up ukulele over his head, keeping the neighbours awake. Who, Jamal? Jesus, that guy just walked through a hole in our picket fence bold as brass. Like he owns the fucking place. No papers, no ID. You really think you're Jesus? I never said that, but he did, Jamal's buddy. People must believe what they believe. I believe you're having problems with your marriage. How do you know that? You leave my wife out of this. You are haunted by something in your past, and you aren't. According to the papers, you don't have a past. And don't tell me you live in the present, okay? Don't wash in these certifiable times. The interrogation seems to be getting him nowhere, so he takes a bathroom and coffee break. When he returns, Jesus has fucking vanished. Something very weird about this guy. And the next time he turns up, he's in Texas. Flew like the wind. In the middle of a tornado, he turns up. Either trouble follows him, or he follows trouble, or he's just a born troublemaker. This little rural township is in ruins. The only building left standing is a church. It's a miracle. Saved from the twister and also from being burned to the ground by its incumbent minister, who is going through a serious crisis of faith. A dwindling congregation too busy on the Internet of Things to feel either critical or unfaithful. A community in breakdown mode now facing final deletion. Suddenly, the minister experiences his own revival. Especially when Jesus turns up with them eyes and the suntan and such a soft-spoken approach to disaster. He's been witness riding through the eye of the storm and guiding an errant, huddling, helpless teenager back to safety. She'd been recklessly trying to quit this one-horse Hicksville, heading for the less self-righteous, non-judgmental mecca of God only knows where, curtailed in her tracks by this act of God. Brought back into the fold, all its eyes now on their apparent Messiah. Tell us, Master, where the fuck do we go from here? Lead, and we shall follow, and they do. He catches a ride in the minister's pickup, and the rest of the township pile into school buses, and off they go to Washington, D.C., to bring Christianity back to politicians, even when there are no upcoming elections. Of course, by now, the CIA have deemed him a terrorist, possibly working for the Russians. They've uncovered his bio, no mention of Carpenter's Virgin Mother's Magi. He was educated in the US, for Christ's sake, tutored by this commie dissenting professor who'd now gone underground and was obviously plotting government subversion. America was born from dissent, so he knows how much trouble that can spell. Needs to be uprooted before it even takes seed. Can't be a tyrant if you're American, all about prudent land management. We need to fight fire with fireworks. Independence is key to not dissenting from it. The fireworks, not the fire. We'll fire anybody who's not working for us. Haven't we given you enough to fucking dissent about? I mean, somebody elected these fucking billionaire jokers. This guy is no more Jesus than I'm the man in the moon. Lunacy and democracy just do not mix. Tell that to the CIA. But then this guy proceeds to walk on water. He steps into the Capitol's reflecting pool. And he doesn't just sink like a dead duck. Do dead ducks sink? I should Google it. So everybody, I use the term loosely, everybody, though I do think it went out on TV breaking news, everybody is watching this guy walk on water. So what else are they going to think? But, oh, Jesus Christ, is this the second coming? Am I in the presence of the Messiah, or is it just David Copperfield in mufti up to his tricks again? But I'm not watching television. Well, I am, but they're not. They're actually in Washington, D.C., witnessing this guy step into the reflecting pool and not just sink like a dead duck. Stu dead the fuck it, Howard, you did that bit. It looks very real to them, the actors. They can't believe their eyes. Are they seeing what they think they're seeing? Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Are they really in Washington, D.C., or gasping and pop-eyed? Hey, they're pros, even though most of them are extras. Could be a career breaker if they make the final frame. Their faith restored in talent will out. Can't wait to see the bull rushes, but it's out of their hands now. As the director calls cut, that's a wrap. Coffee and donuts await. Hope there's some jelly and sprinkles left. They've been on their feet for hours. Momentous moments take time. But it's worth it. It was worth it. Being part of something this big and financially invested, and witnessing sing the Messiah walking on water. Maybe they'll bump into him on his way to his trailer. Yeah, you did good today. Love your outfit and those eyes. I think you're going to be a big star in the firmament of Netflix. Anybody ever tell you look like Charlie Manson? Oh, that's sexier. Who the fuck is Charlie Manson? Google him. I'm sure he's on Wikipedia. History in the making. Mainly special effects, of course. You can't believe everything you see or read out of this world, man. It's a miracle anything really happens at all. Apparently, the real Jesus once said, I am in this world, but I am not of this world. If there was a real Jesus who really walked on water, no green screen, the bona fide Holy Spirit incarnate, electromagnetic frequencies messianically charged, manifest particulate. What you see is not really what I am, so maybe he was an actor too, but aren't we all? Didn't write his own script, and God did. Somebody made sure he got published. And the rest is history, or is it special effects? Either way, a good review can make or break a religion. Christianity seems to be getting a bad rap these days. Islam on the chopping block, Buddhism for losers who just don't want to participate in this world, can't cut the mustard in this global deli grinder. Spirituality for people who don't believe in special effects, refuse to watch TV on the grounds as giving up their ghost to a phantom reality, no interest in what's going on in the real world. There are forces at work, light and dark. Radiance more powerful in the dark. In the light, you just have to take whatever nature offers. It doesn't always register well on Netflix. The highlights need touching up. I'm watching a movie on Netflix. These are actors. It's not real. But does it go deeper than anything I've ever experienced in my own neighborhood, at least? Psychological bombshells. Exploding my puny self into feeling part of something so much, much, much bigger than my couch. You'd think just bringing God into the equation would do that, but it's so much more convincing watching Charlie Manson's alter ego all suited and tied up for the formal occasion. Hey, the president may be watching. Some respect, man. This guy is about to walk on fucking water. The crowd gasps, all jaw-dropped and pop-eyed. They don't believe it, but they have to believe it. That's what they've been told to believe. That's why they're getting the coffee and the donuts. I mean, it is really happening. It's just like that Brooklyn Bridge thing, yes, but that was on TV. But this is on fucking TV. Wow. I must really be in character. I feel like I'm levitating from the couch. Maybe now it's going to turn the water into malt whiskey. 100% proof, or would that just be a commercial break? But now, I'm getting off my own point. How to sell God to a disbelieving world, which seems to believe the Queen of England has a direct line to divinity, and the US President is always listening on the extension. And if they both insist, there has to be rich, there has to be poor, there has to be leaders and followers, happy and miserable, goodies and baddies. It's the biometric balance of life on this earth. And anybody who believes otherwise just wants to play a baddie, maybe getting too ethical for their own good, and will never rise in this corporation. Sometimes you just have to cut a few corners. I mean, why else did God give us corners if not to cut and paste for special effects? Sometimes you have to take everything with a pinch of perspective. Sometimes I think movies and TV were designed to demonstrate the photogenic perfection of the species. If you just follow what you see on the screen, use the right cosmetics with expert advice on wardrobe, you will grow up with a well-rounded vision of what life really looks like. I look at it like this, you look at it like that. After that, it's the luck of the fastest straw. There are stars, and there are crummy extras. You want to be an extra, be my guest. You want to play lead, maybe best starting writing your own script and doing some serious plot pitching. Take me to your leader. I'm sorry, it's very busy at the moment. Would you like me to set up an appointment for next Tuesday? We'll try to fit you in. Fuck that. Forget it. I'm going straight to God. At least he's on call 24/7. Walk-in's welcome. I'm not waiting around here for some messiah to turn up. Well, now you're being childish and silly. You want to know what silly is? Surfing 20 minutes through 50-odd channels and you still can't find anything you really want to watch. So you take a rain check, go outside, watch the grass grow. Sit there long enough, you might even see a bean sprouting. That would be a real miracle. I speak from the bottom of the hollow where my heart should be. It's being repaired at the moment. I'm scheduled to get it back in a few weeks. No longer contrite and full of regrets, and it's too soft for its own good. A couple of months I'll have a new brain, all upgraded and re-educated. We've come on a long journey, me and my brain. My old pal just couldn't keep up with the times. When a head starts getting behind itself, what choice is there but to put it into the hands of experts? So my head is in their hands, whoever they are. And if you have to ask that, you're obviously not yet fully perfected. My thoughts will come faster than the speed of light. My heart monitored 24/7 and my every move certified in the right direction, lockstepped in unison with the greater good. So I'll never have to give a second thought to anything ever again. The medium is the message. The message is messianically stated. They like me. They really like me. You're doing good, man. If we can't believe in the future, what can we believe in? As for that Messiah on Netflix, I think I fell asleep. Last thing I remember, he was predicting a great flood. Some people just expect the worst. We just can't live like that. We need to switch channels, surfs up. You're going to have to settle for Schitt's Creek. This isn't funny. Neither is Schitt's Creek. But if we don't settle for something quick, my dinner will get cold. But put that in your spiritual pipeline and joke it. You want to hear something really funny? This morning, I was making my breakfast, and it turned out to be my last supper. Doesn't get any fucking funnier than that. Take me to your leader. See if I can make him laugh or whoever. This is not a recommendation. It's a thought process. It is not in any way, shape or form a finished product.